Kevin Coop here, and this is FaceTime with the Content Guy. So last week I did a story on Morning Newsbeat about how Diageo is introducing a new line of vodka. And it's called Kettle One Botanicals. And Kettle One Botanicals is interesting. It's got so little alcohol in it, it doesn't even necessarily qualify as a vodka. But the reason they're doing it is because Kettle One, Diageo, and a lot of their vodka brethren have been losing market share to Tito's. And they felt they needed to come up with something different in the marketplace that would actually give them a little bit more market share, give them a little bit of juice. And I thought this was interesting. Kettle One Botanicals does not exactly have a name. That's not a name that turns me on. It would make me think like that I'm drinking flowers. But to be honest, I'm a relatively new vodka drinker, even at my age. Tito's has been a sort of an entryway vodka for me. Although I also like Baru. I've tasted a number of other vodkas that I like. But I like Tito's. You go out to a bar, you have a Tito's, a soda, and lime, it's all set. And but I don't have a strong enough palate yet to be able to tell the difference really between a lot of different kinds of vodkas. If somebody wants to invite me over for a taste test, I'm there. But what was interesting is I got a number of emails that basically said, you know, Tito's is really lousy vodka. Again, how would I know? But what was really interesting is I got several emails responding to this particular comment that I made in the story. I wrote, I may be wrong about this, but there's something about the Kettle One Botanical that somehow seems inauthentic. That's what Tito's has going for it. It feels entirely authentic, with a brand identity that's been baked in from the beginning. It's hard to compete with, and I'm not sure that any new competitor is going to find it easy to develop any buzz. And you know, the point of the emails that got to me was that, yeah, maybe Tito's is not as authentic as you think it is. You know, Tito's used to be a small company, but now they're a big company. They don't make their hot vodka handmade anymore. They don't do it in small batches. They can't because they make so much of it. And in fact, I did a little research, and there have been a number of lawsuits that have basically accused the Tito's folks of being not necessarily truthful in their advertising and promotions, although I should say, I can't find a single case where actually Tito's has lost a lawsuit. I may have missed one, but it looks like they've come out pretty clean. Listen, it was either Groucho Marx or George Burns that once said that if you can fake honesty, you've got it made. And the thing, it seems to me that basically what Tito's has going for it, when I talk about authenticity, it's not just having authenticity in terms of their roots, but also authenticity in terms of its message. And that's really important, right? You can be as authentic as you want, but if your message doesn't reflect it, if it doesn't communicate that really directly to consumers, then, well, yeah, it's important. But what real good is it if people don't understand that? And that's the thing I think that people don't necessarily understand. It's about authenticity, but it's also about well-communicated authenticity. And if you're in the business of selling anything to anybody, you've got to know what your story is. You've got to know what your message is. You've got to understand what your narrative is. And that's incredibly important. And knowing those things and communicating them effectively, that's what authenticity is all about. You know, it's funny, when I think about vodka, one of my main memories is of, I go out with Marv Imus and the late, great Al Lees. And these were two independent grocers. I once read a story about them called Dining with Dinosaurs. And but these were our great guys, and they'd go out and they'd have their vodka, and they would always have Grey Goose, because that was the one that resonated for them. That had a kind of level of authenticity to them. That's what they would always have. In those days, I was drinking beer. But that's my memory of them. That's my memory of Grey Goose. And that's my impression in terms of authenticity. That's what everybody who's trying to sell something has to try to achieve. Yes, you have to have authenticity in your roots, but it's also incredibly important to have authenticity in terms of what you communicate to people. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on yours.